So today I will try to make a revision of Block 1, Lecture 1 and Lecture 2. Though many of you might not have attended, I hope you can go through the video which I have taken, which I will record for you. You can go through what have been displayed. You can go through what I have tried to impart you today in terms of the syllabus and in terms of the topics which I'm going to teach you today again. And I will take the revision of it. I hope you kindly go through it. And though you could not able to attend it, I hope you can go through the videos. The first thing is in terms of the Block 1 conceptual understanding of what the social change and modernization means. So in the picture which you see, there is a child and right side there is an old person. After the class, I'm going to ask you what is the distinction? What can you see through identifying through the sociological lens after 50 years of it and what have changed? The main objectives to understand today's class is the concept and dynamics of social change and to identify the key features and factors that influence social change and try to relate the social evolution to development and policy contexts and to apply concepts of social change in professional development, real world and community setting, to develop analytical skill for research, social work and policy roles, to interpret social trends for effective planning and development policies. So for lecture 1 today, the contents which I'm going to discuss from Block 1 are the conceptual understanding, the Unit 1 definition of social change, the Unit 2 characteristic of social change, the Unit 3 evolution and change, the Unit 4 progress and change, the Unit 5 development and change, the summary, the check yourself progress, the next tasks. The first thing, the definition of change, what we talks about, McIver and Pace talks about in terms of the transformation within society. McIver and Pace talks about the transformation within society. Davis talked about the modification that take place within social organizations. And Gillian talks about the deviation from established norms of existence. So what we can see from McIver Pace talks about the transformation. What Davis talks about in terms of the modification that take place within social organization. So social change in simple sense is a change in social structure and social relationships. So the characteristic of social change when we try to see its nature, it's continuous and ongoing. Besides its continuous and ongoing, there are multiple factors. If you see into the pictures, the dresses are changed, the cultures are changed, the infrastructures have been changed, the knowledge have been changed, the technology have been changed. So these concept of change can never be a linear aspect. It is always multifaceted. It is dynamic and unpredictable. Even when we look across in terms of the causes, there are the technological side of it, there are economic side of it, there are political and legal side of it, there are cultural and ideological side of it, and there are environmental side of it. So these causes in technological advancement, what we see is that it is technological advancement in terms of how from the traditional knowledge, how change have comes in towards the new identity of the thing. So what this is from the lecture 1 series, which I'm just revising it here. What I have said in the discussion for your classes, and for these are very important questions from Block 1, like the definition of change, the characteristic of change, and then what do you understand by evolution, and what do you understand by progress, and what do you understand by development and change. But the characteristic of social change and definition are one of the most important in Block 1, besides the concept of evolution and progress. So what we understand from social change is that जो 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 परिवर्तन होते हैं हमारे समाज में, जो चेंज होती है, जो हमारे टेक्नोलॉजी में, इकोनॉमिक्स में, पॉलिटिक्स में, कल्चरल में, एनवायरमेंट, जो भी चेंज समाज में, वट एवर चेंज हैपेंस इन अवर ह्यूमन सोसाइटी, that is the idea of the characteristic of social change. So when we talk about evolution, the term evolution is very popular word which you have learned during your schooling days, where it was assumed by Charles Darwin that humans evolved through animals. We evolved through in terms of a chimpanzee or a species, animal species. Then we gradually change our shape due to time and space. So by understanding how that human shape have changed, sociology also try to understand human evolution. So Charles Darwin popular concept was taken by Herbert Spencer, where he said these evolution of change happen with the times and space. So when we talk about in terms of the progress and change, yes, progress happens. Progress mainly involves in terms of the advancement or forward movement, but change means any modification or transformation in society. The main causes which you can see the case studies like technology, social progress, or economic progress, or environmental progress. So in unit 5, in terms of development and change, uh, in development and change, development can happen, but change can be both positive and negative. But development, in some way, it is more of improvement and growth. It is more of improvement and growth in terms of development. So development keeps on growing, but with this development and change, there are certain challenges as well and critics. The challenges that involves is when we understand towards development, there are unintended consequences. There are impact of development, the negative consequences. So uh, there is one video which I have said, which I also have told to you in terms of the industrial revolution, how the industrial revolution in England, which happened in 18th century or towards the early 19th century, that how these have transformed the idea of knowledge and advancement, and this industrial revolution have brought modernization. So in the block one, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4, 5, you have to learn the definition of social change very well, and then you should go through the characteristic of social change, where you understand that from the characteristic of social change जो सब समाज में चेंज होती है, सोसाइटी में चेंज होते हैं, बहुत सारे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक है, टेक्नोलॉजी भी चेंज होते हैं, एजुकेशन भी चेंज होते हैं, और इसके मौजूद चेंज are multiple. There are multiple factors. So try to go through it. This block 1. Now let us come to block 2. In the now let us go through towards the block 2. So in block 2, in lecture 2 of our class, we talked about the theories of social change. In block 1, it was discussed that social change, what is social change, definition of social change, and characteristic of social change. Now in block 2, you should understand very importantly the theories of social change, and here you'll able to learn the theories of social change and the relationship between social change and modernization. Because modernization happened, modern life came, and change happened in our society. So let us see in block 2. ब्लॉक 2 के मामले में यहाँ पर एक्सप्लेनेशन सोशल चेंज किस तरीके से जो हमारे समाज में चेंज हुआ है, और जैसे हमारे सोसाइटी, इन व्हाट वे सोसाइटी, ह्यूमन सोसाइटी चेंज हुआ है, और जो दूसरे राइटर ने उन लोगों ने कैसे एक्सप्लेन किया है. दैट इज द मेन थ्योरीज ऑफ सोशल चेंज. So by that, you'll able. The first theory is evolutionary theory, which today also I have discussed in the block 1. The classical evolutionism, the unilinear aspect, and the modern evolutionism. So, what does the classical theory says in evolutionary theory? Like Auguste Comte, who believed that society changed through in a unilinear pace. Unilinear means एक line में, एक तरीके से, one line. What Comte believed was theological, metaphysical, positive. Theological was when religion was important. Metaphysical was when philosophy was important. Positive was when scientific is important. So see, 1, 2, 3. In history, religion important. In medieval history, philosophical important. In modern history, science is important. Step by step, 1, 2, 3. How from simple society to complex society have come. So, in terms of Morgan, they believe that savagery, barbarism, civilization, and modern evolutionism, like multilinear, they believe that society have a multilinear aspect. The change is not always progress; it is always involves different aspect. And in evolutionary theory, there is also an idea of that this evolution theory was popularized by Charles Darwin, where Charles Darwin tried to understand human in the capacity of biological organism. But in sociology, Herbert Spencer tried to use Charles Darwin theory and try to understand the social system of our society, the social systems of our world. So in our human body, we have hand, we have leg, we have head, we have heart, we have lungs. All our multiple organisms are connected. Same thing, Herbert Spencer tried to draw this analogy and try to understand the society. जिस तरह से हमारे human body connected है, जैसे हमारे हाथ, पैर, सर, सब हमारे body parts connected है. जब एक जगह में हमारे हाथ में दर्द होती है, हम महसूस करते हैं हमारे माइंड से. जब हमारे पैर दर्द होते हैं, हम महसूस कर सकते हैं, जैसे हमारे बॉडी पार्ट्स आर कनेक्टेड. जैसे ही इस कंपैरिजन जो हर्बर्ट स्पेंसर ने दिया है समाज में, जैसे हमारे समाज में इस तरह के जो हमारे ह्यूमन ऑर्गेनिज्म भी कनेक्टेड है, समाज में जो हमारे पार्ट्स है, इंस्टीट्यूशन है, वो भी कनेक्टेड है. जैसे इकोनॉमी, एजुकेशन, पॉलिटिक्स, रिलीजन, एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री, जो भी कुछ है, समाज को फंक्शन होने के लिए, समाज को बैलेंस होने के लिए, ऑर्डर होने के लिए ये connected है. That is what Herbert Spencer tried to draw this comparison. Comparison means this analogy. Now, so what we have to understand from evolutionary theory is that these evolutionary theory have been taken from biological organism to understand social system. Now, functional theory. Functional theory like Durkheim, Talcott person believes that समाज चेंज होते हैं to create stability. समाज चेंज होती है to create equilibrium. Society change in terms of to create equilibrium. Society change in terms of how to create understanding. So In evolutionary theory, it was about that how society changes, but this society changes just like the biological organism. Biological organism means like human bodies, living bodies. As living bodies are connected, society also changes, connecting each other. That is the first theory, which from block 2. The theories of social change, the first theory is evolutionary theory. The second theory is functional theory. Functional theory, here they believe is that समाज चेंज होती है एक बैलेंस देने के लिए, समाज चेंज होती है एक स्टेबिलिटी देने के लिए, समाज चेंज होती है एक स्ट्रक्चर देने के लिए, टू मेंटेन ऑर्डर, टू मेंटेन पीस, टू मेंटेन स्टेबिलिटी. दे बिलीव ऑन द पॉजिटिव साइड. कोई भी चेंज हो, whatever change happen, it is for stability, balance. Functional theory, it's about stability and equilibrium. So let us see the third theory. The third theory believes society change, समाज चेंज होती है दो तरीके से, rise, fall, rise and fall. It means कोई भी human civilization, any human civilization, it develop, decline, rise, it develop and fall. Upar niche. So that's how it believes. Just like British Empire was very powerful earlier in the till to the 20th century, but after Second World War they collapsed. The Roman Empire was one of the most popular civilizations. They were power rise and fall. So belief is that society changes due to like a cycle, the rise and fall. Like Spengler also believes that how the birth, maturity, old age, and death have changed. Like Tony B also believes that it's about challenge and response. And Sorokin also believes it's about the idealist aspect. Even Pareto, who believes that change happened due to circulation of elites. The circulation of elites argued that history is a graveyard of aristocracy. What he was trying to say was that one group एक मनुष्य के ग्रुप को रिप्लेस करते हैं दूसरे. One group, one government replace another government. New government, opposition party, new government. That cycle of elites. Just like that, the elites, so powerful group in society, are also replaced. The fourth theory is conflict theory. They believes that समाज चेंज होती है एक human struggle or competition के बाद. What they believe is that society changes due to conflict, society changes due to struggle, society changes due to competition. This is the main popular idea of Karl Marx. What he talks about, this struggle is between the rich and the poor. What he tried to say, the rich are those who are the capitalists, who are the business owner, the industrialists, the rich men, where he said they are the bourgeoisie. The poor people, the laborer, the working class, he termed it as proletariat. When these proletariat and bourgeoisie are in competition, are in struggle, are in fighting of each other, this creates social change. Samaj change hote hain. So that is the idea of this block 2. In block 2, what I was trying to tell you mainly is that there are four, if in exams it comes, what are the various theories of social change? Or what do you understand by evolution and social evolution? Or what is the difference between cyclical and conflict theory? So try to go through it very properly. So what today in block 2, in the second lecture series, which we learned in the first week of December, was that there are various theories of social change. evolutionary, functional, cyclical, conflict. Evolutionary theory believes evolution, just like from biology subject, which believe that human came from animal or ape. From Charles Darwin, it was used to understand human society by Herbert Spencer, Comte Durkheim. They believe society are changed from simple to complex society. Simple to complex society. Functional theory believes society change होते हैं समाज में to create stability, in society to create equilibrium. Equilibrium means to create equality. They think in the positive side. Evolutionary theory, simple to complex. Functional theory, equality and stability, like Parsons and Durkheim. Cyclicals believe like a life cycle, rise and fall. The writers are mainly Spengler, Tony B, and Pareto. Conflict theory believes, like Marx, Dahrendorf believe, society changes due to power struggle and inequality. Society changes due to competition, due to struggle and equality between the rich and poor, between the bourgeoisie and proletariat. So the four theories of social change are evolutionary, functional, cyclical, conflict theory. Today, some of you have attended the revision of the class. I talk about that in the block 1. Try to learn definition of social change, characteristic of social change, or the causes of social change, and try to learn the distinguish between progress and development. And in block 2, try to go through the theories of social change with examples. With examples. So that is for the paper SOM 6115, Social Change and Modernization, Block 2. Now I will go through directly the second class for the second class. That is on paper 6112.